Home rental in South Korea, Part 2. The example of a pet owner in dispute with landlord. On February 16, 2017, a person signed a lease on an apartment in Seoul and put down 40 million Korean won of earnest money. But after that, the landlord found out that the renter was moving in with his 3 dogs and persisted in giving the renter back the earnest money to withdraw from the agreement. The renter requested the landlord to give back twice as much money as the earnest money and sued the landlord when he refused. A lawyer representing the landlord said that just because the landlord gave the renter back the earnest money didn't mean that he used the earnest money as a way out of the agreement. He claimed that the reason for the landlord returning the earnest money was due to the rescission of the agreement. He was referring to the Korean Supreme Court's rulings in 2006 and 2011 that when it's obvious that if your counterpart had been told about a certain matter so he can make an informed choice, he would not have entered into the real estate agreement. You should be seen as having a duty to tell him about it. According to his claims, the renter had a duty to tell the landlord about his 3 pet dogs, but did not do so. The renter's inaction constituted to a breach of the duty, which amounted to a fraud on the landlord. The fraud entitled the landlord to rescind the agreement and return the earnest money. The court accepted the landlord's claim that in this case, the earnest money did not serve its function as a legitimate way out of the agreement. That decision was based on the fact that the landlord didn't give the renter back twice as much money as the earnest money. But at the same time, the court judge ruled that the renter should not be seen as having a duty to tell the landlord about his 3 pet dogs, based on the court's findings. The court found that at the time of signing, the landlord didn't tell the renter that the lease conditions require a tenant not to move in with pets. It also found that keeping dogs in a home at an apartment complex is not a taboo in South Korea. Furthermore, the court found that the landlord was not only not living up to his part of the agreement, but also had expressed his intention to not live up to his part of the agreement by giving the renter back the earnest money. On May 25, 2018, the court ordered the landlord to pay the renter 12 million Korean won in damages for anticipatory breach.